Hello and welcome to my part 2 on how to play Necromunda. Now, I've finally got off my lazy ass and I decided to make a part 2. This video will focus on how to play this online. This is under the impression that you read some of the rules or you were just curious on how the hell do you play a tabletop game online. Well, it's not the prettiest, but it works. I've seen it happen with people who play 40k online and just regular role-playing games. This website is mostly for role-playing, but you could do other stuff with it. Go to roll20.net or app.roll20.net. Sign in, make up an account. It's free. They won't badger you with junk mail. Just sign in. Just click on, you'll see this screen, or you'll probably go to your home, just click on my campaign, start a new campaign, and ignore the modules on the right. These are optional. Some of them you pay for, but ignore them. What you want to do is type in Necromunda. Now, if you really are wanting to look for people, it will be right at the top in, like, probably the searches. So you don't really have to worry about tags at all. Ignore the optional, like, character sheet because they don't have one, because it's not really a role-playing game. But I have seen some people play Necromunda as, like, gang members, and they choose, like, a gang leader. That's pretty cool. But as soon as you come in, tools. Names only. Nothing. That's what you want to do. Now, you might be like, what the hell is this? Why am I looking at a grid? I recommend going to the toolbar here. There's different things. I'll try to explain them as quickly as I can. But ignore all of that. Just zoom out. Magnifying glass, zoom out a bit. And what you want to worry about is this section over here. This section and this section. Let's say if you don't have any tokens for your gang members, don't worry, there's some online. It's not the best, but there is some online. Just dedicate yourself a color and just type in like red army, blue army, or whatever. And here we go. We got some, it's like Red Marine by David Knight. It's like medic. It's like you know, dual wielding, flamer, heavy machine gun. You could say like that's like an auto gun, and then you could say like that's a las gun. That's easily a rocket. Like it's really easy what it is. Like you'll be like that's my sergeant. It's really easy. It might not be the best solution, but it's really easy. And what you do is make sure you're on the objects and tokens, and you click and drag. And you might be like, oh, that's small. Well, that's because we're zoomed out. And also what I recommend, going on this thing, clicking on that like little box, go into the page settings. This is a scale unit. For one box is apparently 5 feet. That makes no sense for what we are doing. So you could change it to whatever scale you want. Like 1 box equals 1 inch. And boom. And there we go. Now, let's say if, well, we need a map to play on, right? Let's say in the hive, like, like it's been taken over by swamp things. Just type in swamp, or you could just do whatever you want. Let's, size back out. Let's say, yeah, that's pretty cool. It's got some pools, and we could say that they're, like, pits or something like that, or they're it's like you can't go in them, or they're acid pools, you know, like difficult terrain. And it's just like boom, there we go. Just get a few more gangs and then blue, and then there you go, you could have at it. Sadly though, there isn't that many like industrial campaign maps, I mean. But you could easily convert some of these to be industrial. Sometimes they don't work when you click and drag. So what you need to do is like you need to right click on them, open this up, and the reason why is that they don't have it is because the original post was taken down. Sadly, that happens sometimes. But it's like there's so many things on here that you could use. I am not joking when there's almost like an endless supply of maps that you could easily say that are in a hive or in the wastelands. Or if you're really picky on something, type in metal plate. And what you could do is get like the metal plate by this website. Oh, there we go. Sometimes it gets laggy like that. And you can say, oh, this is slime pit, but let's do what I'm doing. It's like type in metal plate. This is kind of like a hard floor, you know, kind of like in an industrial setting, and just blow it all the way up. And then you could be like, oh, I don't want to just be like this. It's like there needs to be obstacles, because, you know, like what I said before. Again, just type in a word like barrel, tokens, or maps. But you want to go to tokens, and boom, there's a bunch of barrels. Or you could say, oh, but I want crates. Oh my god, I'm horrible spelling today. Crates. Boom. Crates. Boom. They even have some 40k-ish looking crates. It's like so easy to do. They even have, like, this website is the best. There's some that even looks like sandbags. It's like they got walls. They got like razor wire. They got tank traps on here. It's basically Google. And in fact, if you go to the everything and search, it is Google. So let's say if you're not playing as a human army, let's say if you're playing as Xenos army, type in alien, and there we go. They got green alien, yellow alien, red alien. They even have like 40k-ish weapons. It's like, there you go. And even if they don't, you could easily proxy some of these. It's like so easy to do. And even if you're like, if there's like two of these with the same thing, and for some reason one of them is different, double click on the token and boom, you get to edit the token. GM notes. Oh, it's GM, but so you could have everybody put in their characters in for you, and it might be a little bit time consuming, and you could tell them to find your like their token, and all you need to do is just like click on it, like type in like 2 grenades, and then they were like, oh, does this guy have a grenade? It's like, oh yes he does. It's like, oh well, I want to use one. Okay, then you just switch it, save, and then boom. Also, you may notice these little things over here. You could type in some like useful things like health, how much ammo he has. You know, some useful information like that. You can't go too crazy with the numbers, because if you go above like the 4 digits, it gets like small, and then it just gets smaller and smaller until it's almost like impossible to read. But it is useful. And remember, when you do type it in, you need to enter to confirm. This thing is so useful. Let's say if you need like industrial slime on the floor. Slime. And then you like look through here. It's like, oh, but it's not the right one. Oh, there's one. There's another one. It's like if you need a thing of water. It's like, yeah, here we go. It's like, boom, slime, industrial slime. You could say that's toxic. toxic waste. It is so easy to do. I highly recommend this. But let's say if you have like an incline or a catwalk that goes up. That's one of the downsides to this. You can't really like look in the player, like in the person's eyes to say like, oh, this is actually like a staircase, or like this goes up, like remember the Halo style map where like it just kind of goes up and then it stops, kind of like a sniper's perch. Like you can't really tell from this, it just looks like it's on the ground. Well, there is a way to do that. By going to the text, they could either make it so it's available for everybody to see, like that's like it goes up on an incline, like a few feet off the ground, or you could just make it only for you. You could change the size to it, and you could say it goes up 10 feet, giving 3+. It's like giving 3 extra range or something like that. And it's like, there you go. So now you know this staircase goes up on an incline of 10 feet, giving 3 extra range to whoever's standing over here. And you may notice that it's like, oh, but it went under. Bring it to the front. And make sure that this is on its own layer. Personally, I put all of the other things, like if I want to put another staircase down or something like that, like don't put in the tokens layer, put it like right click on layer and put it in the map layer. And you can only move it if you're in the map. And it also does have, this does have Control Z option. What's also great about this is, let's say if you like some music, you could click here in Jukebox, and it's powered by SoundCloud. So if you got your own personal music things that isn't available in SoundCloud for some reason, you could sign up an account on SoundCloud, post it up on there, and then search your own music. It's that simple. For Necromunda, I recommend ambient noise. Like ambient factory. I don't think I'm going to get anything about that. But yeah, you could like click on some cool things. There we go. Ambient factory. Wow. And it's like you could play in the background. You could change some of the it's like chill, like dark, creepy. Like you could type in a lot of things, and there's even a few different search tabs for. Background music is mostly for like real music, and it's like sound effects is what you would normally want to look in, because this has a lot of ambient stuff. You could look up soundtracks, like, you know, anything that somebody ever posted up on SoundCloud, you could look up on here. And this is just perfect. I don't think you heard any of that, but yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, with Roll20, you could run an entire campaign in here, because you could easily create new pages, change everything like that, and just add in more stuff. And then when it's like the new map comes, you just move the player tab to there. And this is just perfect. It's like the only downside is if you're not in memory, you just gotta wait 14 seconds. It's less than a TV commercial ad. If you could wait for 14 seconds for a TV ad, or not even that, it's just 14 seconds. Sometimes it is a little bit glitched up. Roll20 becomes glitched up when you use a middle mouse wheel. So I recommend stay away from middle mouse wheel and use just the tool sliders. If it does mess up, just refresh it. So that's all you need to play Roll20. It is extremely simple and extremely useful. I recommend you doing this if you can't set up a game in real life. This is me signing off. If you like me, please subscribe. I'll try to do more videos.